Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 9:28 a.m. on the 17th of September 2024. By the gods, we're already just over halfway through September. Time is just flying this year, and maybe it's a sign that I'm getting old, or I don't know what, but it feels astonishingly quick, like the lovemaking I had with my husband for 12 years. Astonishingly quick. I know I'm being a cow, but it happens to be true though, unfortunately. I mean, I can laugh about it now, but it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny after my second baby, when everyone was talking about the wonderful sex lives they were having with their men, and I was like, no idea what you're talking about. I was, to all intents and purposes, kind of still a virgin, because I had no idea about anything, which probably was a good thing in a way. Kept me safe in that safe container for as long as possible. But by the gods, if you're going to make love to your women, men of earth, commit. Like, put in the effort, or get treatment if you're incapable, because sometimes it's a medical condition. There's no need to be a selfish lover. It's abhorrent. Abhorrent. 2 babies, and I knew nothing about real life or sex or sexuality or even being a woman. Oh, by the gods. Anyway, I mustn't think about that. I just don't know why that slipped out. Oh, it's because I said astonishingly quick. There is that. I keep reaching for my cup, and I was going to make a cup of tea, and then I must have not done it. So let's go and make a cup of tea while we're whining about my non-existent sex life, love life, ability to function in the real world. We can make a cup of tea. Making a cup of tea, tea for two, for me, for you, you for me, and me for... Anyway, Mama's still feeling a little bit interestingly, yes, creative. I don't like this shirt, it's not my colour, and it's a racing back, and so my bra straps through, and so you can see me twitching and fitching and fitting and not liking it. But anyway, I got given all these wonderful clothes for free, and they're all a bit too big for me. So I'm using, you know, the resources that God's gifted to me, but it does nothing for me. It makes me look kind of dead. I might move this energy on, give it to someone that it looks great on. You know, sometimes it's what you need to do. Just accept that certain colours are not your colour. I've never been fond of beige or taupe or puce or khaki, so I don't even know why I put this on actually. I think I just wanted to try something different, because as you age, you know, your skin tones kind of change, and sometimes you can wear colours that you couldn't wear when you were a bright young thing, or pink and florid and flowery with the first blush of youth and all the blushing from the good sex you weren't getting. I had to go there. Yes. Psychedelic dream. You know what the problem is? Why I'm banging on about this? Let's deconstruct. I'm probably wishing I could be having great sex with a wonderful man who loves me. So I'm whining about the non-events, the hairy aardvarks, and the non-events of the past. And this is ancient history. I mean, I married that man when I was 19 years, 1 month and 8 days old. And how old am I now? 59 years and 5 months. And I'm still carrying a grudge for 40 years. That's a long time to be deprived of your most juicy, most joyous, most vibrant, most ebullient, most gorgeousness as a young woman in your fresh phase of youth, of your sexuality. So don't do it, men of earth. It's not cricket. I'm sure some of you have got bad memories of bad liaisons with women that just weren't really into you, and, you know, It's not cricket. If you're going to make love to your lover, make love. And if you're not into it, just say, I'm sorry, I'm really not into it. But, you know, we can be great friends, shake hands across the cosmic divide, and, you know, collaborate on projects and be delightful in other ways. You don't always have to have a sexual thing happening between a man and a woman. I know men find that hard to take, very hard to take, but it is what it is. Sometimes the chemistry or the desire or the level of interest is just absent. And it's a tragedy when you marry someone and that they're not your sexual compadre. It's a great tragedy. It really is. And but anyway, Mama T has lived a sexless life on and off for, you know, 2.5 decades. So there is that. It's probably why I can talk about these things with the wisdom and circumspection of the one who's not actually doing it. But I remember what it was like when I did make love with wonderful lovers. They weren't very nice men, turned rancid, but, you know, at some point in time they were actually very passionate and devoted, and even if it was only for 20 minutes or so, which is still better than what my ex-husband used to deliver. So anyway, it's a beautiful day. There's lots of clouds in the sky, like lots of little white fluffy clouds. Very nice sort of fluffy little marshmallow type clouds. I got paid today. My pension has gone in. I need to go and buy some more filters for my water filter because it's run out. So I'm having to drink plain water out of the tap, and I did it for many years, but now I feel sick. Now I know what they've put in all our water supply. So there is that. It's like being shafted over and over again by your own government, isn't it? Get you every which way, even in your water. The bastards. So anyway, I'll be off to the shops later, get my water filters, so I can feel good about, you know, the water I'm imbibing constantly. And I might even buy some groceries because I need to buy food. And what else shall I do? What shall we do, Charlie, today with our magical, wonderful day? She says, I don't know. I'm going to flick food on you and just be a birdie, Mama. Okay, Charlie, you do that. Can you do that without flicking the food on me, though? Because, like, yeah. You should see the look on her face, like, what? Since when don't you care about me flicking food on you? I always flick food on you. Handle it, baby. She's got no respect for me, that bird. Like all my children, she's got no fucking respect for me. Well, have to respect oneself, don't we? We'll have to get the sweetness and the kindness and the respect generated within ourselves and build a life for ourselves that's beautiful and juicy and delightful, and live happily ever after. Am I right? Live happily ever after. Right, now let us get to our story. I've still got that weird blue flashing on and off thing on my screen. Can't get rid of it. I got rid of it the other day, but I don't know what I did to get rid of it. I just must have clicked on something that didn't work. Maybe, no, that will just turn everything off. Well, anyway, I give up, but I'm not giving up. I'm reading my story anyway, and here we go. Let us begin. The Odyssey of the Tanya. Memories, 17th of September 2024. Octopus teachers and dead goldfish in a fire. Oi. He is this is a photo from 2017. He is stir-crazy as de Mama and de Beau slept most of the day. Now he wants to party. Indeed he did. He was a party animal, my Beauregard. I wonder where he got it from. Can you see him? Let me get this right. Here he is. Who's that, Charlie? Who's that? Who's that little face? Oh, he was a lovely boy. Wasn't he, Charlie? He was. She used to keep me like... Well, she has to. It's because of her beak. She will always look at me like this. She's like, you're such an arsehole, Mama. I know, Mama can be an arsehole. I know. I'm well aware of that. But, look, there's our little Beauregard, Charlie. He was, oh, he could be an arsehole too, to be frank. Picking on other little doggies at the dog park. Right, here we go. 17th of September 2023. I can't update you with today's news because it's the morning and I haven't lived this day yet. So sometimes it's better when I make these videos about my journal entries at the end of the day, because then I've got, you know, things to talk about what happened in this current year. But well, that won't be happening today. Unless something really wild and astonishing happens, and then I'll make another video, but I doubt it. Yesterday was a very ordinary day. I spent most of the late afternoon and evening watching movies and shows on Netflix, so I don't normally do that. I usually just like limit it to like one movie or one episode of something, but I just felt like it. I sat down on the couch and had a marathon of watching shows and movies, and then I was halfway through a movie. I realised I've watched it before. That annoys me when that happens. But I thought, well, I've got halfway and I might as well keep watching it now. Just repeat the story. There must be messages in it for me. It was set in Poland, actually, so that was kind of interesting. It's set in the old days in Poland, and the forgotten love or something like that. Anyway. Oh, Charlie, stop with the food. Food goes in your tummy, not in Mummy, all over Mummy. What's going on here, all these workmen? I don't know what happened. I had, you know, Maintain Australia or something come to measure up my steps. And it's a week and a half ago, I've heard nothing more. But they nagged the crap out of me to get the man over here, but now nothing's happening. So that's annoying. But I guess in the broad scheme of things, I didn't care. I let the steps get to that state because I didn't care. So it doesn't matter how long it takes them to get in and do the steps. I mean, they've probably put in the job order, so it will happen, am I right? Eventually. They're usually pretty quick though, housing, that get people to do the jobs. Maybe because it's going to be an expensive job, they've put it on the back burner. But, oh, anyway, not my monkey, not my circus. Where was I? 17th of September 2023. 2:32 a.m. I woke up after only 2 hours sleep. I'm in a heightened state of excitement. It's called sleep deprivation. Probably because I finished my memorial heart ring at 10 p.m. Now my energy is high and I can't settle to sleep. Oh well, yes, I do get into euphorias when I finish off a piece of jewellery that I've been working assiduously on, and kind of overcompensated and overdone it. Should have seen the sleepless nights I had when I made this, by the gods. But it was worth it because I love it. I think it could do with a bit of a polishing up though. It's looking a bit blah, but I love it. Put a lot of work into that. It's one of my early pieces, so it's rudimentary and rustic, but oh well, it's mine. my efforts. 11:39. Oh, did I tell you I'm going to Belinda's to learn how to spin wool? Yes, I think I did in my video yesterday on Friday morning, so I'm excited about that. It's very kind of Belinda to teach me that too, by the way. 11:39 a.m. I woke up at 11 a.m. with a grinding, dehydrated, sleep-deprived sort of headache. I only got up to pee 5 times last night, only, bejesus. But then I got slammed with a weird kind of euphoria and couldn't sleep until 4ish in the morning. I should have gone dancing and channeled all that excitement and excess energy that way. Have you worked it out yet, people of Earth? Dancing is a substitute for sex. Work out all that energy, get it all out of you, sweat it all out to the music, having a wonderful time. Good, clean, harmless fun. Occasionally I might dance with a male as well, but that's rare. But, you know, good, clean, harmless fun, and then I go home utterly exhausted. Dear Goddess. It's a shame, isn't it, that I never found a loving partner that I could channel that kind of energy into in a good way. Anyway, c'est la vie, babies. It goes to show you never can tell. I'm an old lady now, so I'm not really all that bothered, to be honest. When I was bothered and really wanted sex, after the wool dispute ended and I was kind of acting out, to be honest, enjoying my first taste of real freedom, being free of my evil, despotic mother, all I attracted was time wasters and idiots. So it ruined any joy in sexuality for me. It was ruined by idiots. It's a shame. It is a great shame. But anyway, I'm happy now, people of Earth. I know I don't sound particularly happy. Sometimes I sound bordering on suicidal ideation, but I am actually happy because I've survived all of it. I've lived my best life. I've done my best to achieve what little bits and pieces I've achieved, including this. And I've loved deeply, sometimes the wrong people, unfortunately. But I have loved. I know what real love feels like. And it grew me back, actually. So even my enemies kind of gave me a backhanded favour. Not willingly, not wittingly. But I turned that shit to spiritual gold and I made myself amazing. So, their loss, I guess. And I'll just be happy for the rest of my life because I deserve to be happy. And, you know, someone who wants to merge with me and be part of my happiness and be happy with me might come along one day. They might come along one day, and hopefully they're a lovely person who is fun and, you know, loyal and faithful and passionately and madly, but not obsessively, because that creeps me the fuck out, but passionately and sweetly in love with me, and then, you know, we can have a wonderful life together. Who knows, maybe even have enough money one day to travel together. Wouldn't that be nice? Fulfill my fantasy of going to all the sacred sites. But for that I'd need a man with money, and I don't want to live off someone else's money and be at their beck and call and at their mercy. So see, I stymie myself even in that dream. Might be a wonderful man who's generous and loving and kind and happy to have me as his partner, and, you know, money might be no option. He might be just so in love with me and value me. See, I got damaged by my husband controlling the money and then not even valuing me. That's where it really began, this abject horror of giving myself over to a man ever again or being at his mercy. It's why I self-sabotage sometimes. Out of the ghastly, abject horrific, not unrealistic fear of that ever happening to me again. So instead, on property of Big Daddy, the government, who's not particularly a loving husband to me either, just saying, keeps breadcrumbing me on just barely enough, putting the food costs up and the energy costs up, and not looking after my house properly, which actually badly needs painting. You know, they just give me just a little bit enough. There you are, little girl. Go and play in the middle of the road. Hopefully you'll die soon so you can save us on the pension. It really is that invidious. But, I mean, I can laugh about it now, but it's not actually really funny. Well, they had other ways of bumping us all off, didn't they? Just saying. That filthy animal came to my door. The Labour MP. I made plenty of money out of the last 4 years. This is how evil they are. Reprehensibly fucking evil. So get away from my gate. Fuck. It's just astonishing how evil they are. I bet you he's a terrible lover to his wife too. I just bet you anything. I'll bet on it. I'll lay $5 on the table. That kind of native arrogance and selfishness and greed and corruption. Those kind of men are never generous, not even with their penis. Anyway, of course we don't want them to be too generous with their penis. There's a fine line. Oh, anyway, it's kind of comical when you think about it. Where was I? Oh, channeling my excess energy into dancing. Yes. I have observed that every time I finish a piece of jewellery that this happens, this weird insomnia and euphoria combined. Pardon me. I've been coughing up crap off my lungs again, and I don't know why, because I don't feel particularly sick, but there's some sort of congestion happening here, giving me reflux as well. What are you doing, Charlie? What are you doing? You want to see what she's doing? Kissing Mama, but putting food all over Mama's arm. Yes. Show the people what you're doing. She likes it when I make videos and I bring her in with me. Went out to her this morning. Do you want to make a video of Mama? And she comes running over because she gets to snuggle up and have a bit of intimacy and cuddles. We don't cuddle that often anymore, do we, Charlie? Except when Mama makes videos. It's getting bloody hot in here. I'm suddenly feeling very hot. Right, here we go. Yes, so anyway, I've observed that this euphoria insomnia happens when I complete a piece of jewellery. It's like my spirit is so thrilled at my small achievements that she rejoices internally like a bubbling brook. I wish she would rejoice by calming my bowels and bladder down. I was having a very bad time of it that time last year. That would give me comfort and ease and a measure of peace. I had some weird bug, a really weird bug. Went on for about 6 fucking weeks. In the end, I thought I was going to die. I went to that doctor and she took a sample. She said, you've got some weird kind of bacteria that is in drinking water. How'd I get that? I don't know. They never know, you know. I said, well, I'm on the tail end of it now. Fucking nearly died. She says, I don't know how you do it. She even said to me, it can't have been last year when I had that bug, because I sacked that bitch. Must have been the year before. But anyway, I had some similar thing going on last year. Oh my God, I was ill. I was so ill. Anyway, life goes on, ploughing through life like an intrepid icebreaker in the Antarctic. Fucking floes of ice. Sometimes even I don't know how I do things. I look back and go. I looked at a video from earlier today. I looked at a video from a few months. You can clearly see I was very sick, had a barking bronchitis, and I'm ploughing through. Should have been in bed resting. Did it again recently, didn't I? Ploughing through. This is why occasionally I have mental breakdowns, because it's too much. It's a glorious morning, almost noon. I've written moon, that's a typo, it has to be remedied. And the garden is hot and dry, but we are steeped in a nascent calm that presages another shift, capital S, shift. There's been a lot of shifts in the last few years. May it be a positive, heartfelt, lovely one for me. I've been through enough shit in 2023. It's been a bizarre year with lots of fresh attacks, physical and psychic, then the loss of Beauregard. That was just one thing too many last year. I'm still not over it. Still not completely over it. I don't think I'll ever get over it. Well, I thought that when Bella Rosa died and when Zulu died and Penny died and all the others, and it's amazing, eventually it just kind of all melts away. You know, you don't forget, but the pain lessens. But anyway, I must remain sanguine and stoic, but keep a sense of mischief and childlike wonder in my core. Something tells me I will need to be playful and inspired to get through the next few years. Indeed. If the gods grant me more time on this planet, question mark, because I never know. I never know how much time I have. I can't plan 5 or 10 years ahead like, you know, other normal people, because I never know. It's always kind of hanging by a thread, being bobbed up and down. I had another near death on the 9th of the 10th, 11th of July, which was a bit fucking surreal and astonishing too. So that's why I'm pushing myself so hard to find love and to have joy in my life and a measure of success, even if it's only my crazy zany videos, because, you know, I'm very conscious that time for me is very fluid and can go down the gurgler at any given time, the space-time continuum. But I had a reasonably good night last night, slept 8 hours, only got up once, I think. So things are starting to slowly improve with the bladder responding to the CPAP machine, and now I just need my brain to respond to it, stop fighting it so hard. Might even get healthier. Health is wealth, people. Indeed. Great wealth. This time next year, Charlie, Mummy will get you babysat. Go to Machu Picchu. That'd be an expensive voyage. But you know, you've got to indulge me in my psychedelic dreaming. It's all I've got left out of a shitty life is my imagination. Keeps me going. Gives me something to look forward to, and hope and illusions and delusions, and sometimes too much seclusion makes me a little bit loose in the caboose, ungrounded in reality. Anyway, Peru. have to start learning Spanish so I can communicate a little bit when I get there. I mean, I know a few words here and there, but not enough to get me through, I don't think. Anyway, continuing on with my reading. Love is flowing to me in all vortices, vectors and directions. Someone deeply sincere and heart-centered. I was feeling it. Who? ? I don't know. But I'm always grateful for that joyful, nourishing bliss when it arises in my spirit. Have a beautiful day, people. I love you too. I posted a photo. You've got to look carefully at it to see what the point of the photo was. And you've got to ignore the blue flashing light. But can you see it? The shadow from the tree formed like an ant or two ants running across my lawn, which I thought, with my weird Tolkien-inspired imagination, was delightful. Yes, I'm a big fan of Tolkien. I read that as a very young girl, and it's been a big influence on my life. My friend Jan Attridge wrote, "Looks like a nice day," and I replied, "Very much so." I was amused by the shadow cast in the grass, which sort of looks like a dancing ant. 17th of September 2022. (11:11 p.m. Time is dragging but showing me 11s. I wonder why. 11 p.m, so 11 minutes earlier. I didn't feel well, so I didn't go dancing, and now I can't sleep or relax, so I might as well have gone out to strut my stuff. I am tempted to get dressed and throw on makeup and go out since I am so energised, but something tells me it's not a wise idea. Better to rest another week and see how I feel next weekend. It's not like I'm going to meet the love of my life out in that seedy old scene anyway. We're talking here about the live wire bar at the Treasury Casino. I haven't in 12 years. Sighs, that's short for psychedelic dreamer sighs. I do miss dancing though. I might play music tomorrow and dance at home. Drumming tomorrow afternoon, so that is something nice to look forward to. Yes, indeed. 11:24 a.m. Up and at 'em, my darlings. 6 hours sleep. Ugh. I wonder what magical miracles and rejoicing we shall manifest today. Indeed. I'm picking up lots of vibes this morning. I'm like, did you see me looking all around the neighbourhood, all the different cars? Lots of cars going up and down today, which is odd. It's just an Energix car that says Treescape. Probably assessing whether the trees need trimming. But yeah, I'm feeling very hyper vigilant and hyper focused and kind of expansive, like I'm expecting something to happen. Maybe those contractors rock up later on in the day, because I feel like someone's coming to me. It's intense. I could be wrong though, it could be just anxiety. Sometimes it's just plain old anxiety. Anyway, I wrote, it's a beautiful sunny day outside. Same deal today. So we are already blessed and the gods are smiling indeed. 17th of September 2021. You kind of have to laugh. I put my mother's old chandelier outside as a kind of a very large sun catcher. And there's me hanging underneath it because I'm swinging from the chandeliers, as you do. Good chandeliers, babies. Pale-headed Rosella visitor to my garden. Oh yes, he was a beautiful birdie too. Look at that beautiful birdie, Charlie. Not as pretty as you. Is he as pretty as you, Charlie? The birdie on the screen. She goes, I'm not even looking, Mama. Got no interest in that at all. I just want to be with you, Mummy. I know, you're a good bird. You're a very good birdie. Mama T's got to get petrol. She's got to go to the shops. I hate going to the shops. She's got to, oh yes, get the water filters. I must remember that. She's got to buy basic foodstuffs. She's got to, it can happen tomorrow actually. What's one day? Drinking normal tap water. I've been using it for the last couple of months though, so I guess one more day won't kill me. Ready to go. Goma Art Exhibition. Here we come. 2021. It's funny because I went yesterday. I went on the 13th. And then I went on the 13th the year before. And here we are in 2021. Going again to the Goma Art Exhibition. Oh. Oops. My daughter took that photo of me next to the why can't I get that to sit right? Oh, those stupid masks, I absolutely hated them. Well, I looked lovely that day, if I say so myself. Jared, who's lost a lot of weight now because he's been diagnosed as a diabetic. He's very slim now. My daughter Crystal. And me, forever a hunky chunky mama. Wow, I might have to do something about that too, get my weight off so I can be healthier. It's like, it's a drag. Beauregard watches TV now, never used to like it. Weird little dog. So I used to sit beside me on the arm of the chair and watch TV with me. Oh, he was a lovely boy. He was weird like me, but he was a lovely boy. 17th of September 2020. So a couple of weeks ago, I was in Dan Murphy's with my friend Margot and her 2 young children. We stopped to admire the glass skull bottles which have vodka in it. I want to get some more of those bottles, the empty bottles, because I like skulls because, Santa Muerte and I are sisters from way back. She keeps not claiming me though. I don't know why. But anyway, she likes to stir me up every now and then with monotonous regularity. So I have this relationship with life and this relationship with death that is perfectly in counterbalance, forming the chalice of eternity blended into my cosmic relationships and my hobbit, stolid, big-footed groundingness on planet Earth as well, but, you know what I mean. It's like I'm like perfectly counterbalanced. Sometimes life kicks me one way and sometimes death kicks me the other way. But if they were kind, they would let me have my dearly, truly beloved one, and then there could be lots of life force happening in a positive manifesting way. Am I right? Santa Muerto said, don't push it, bitch. Okay, I won't. You have to laugh. It's a bit like that, to be honest. But I'm telling the story, so it's my reality. It's my reality, babies. Just, Santa Muerto, can you stop sending me destructive, murderous, rapey men? That's all I ask of you. If you're gonna tweak me and send me into a death spiral, can you just do it in other ways? Because I'm done with that old trope. I'm done with it. We've lived that nightmare too many fucking times. Chuckling. You can hear her chuckling. She knows. She knows I'm right. I don't get to cut deals with the gods, though. They're in charge, not me. I must know my place as a mere mortal on planet Earth. I made the comment, ooh, someone said in a really deep voice, but Tanya, we've got someone wonderful for you. I mean, yeah, waiting in the next dimension. I know you have. Don't know who he is, but I think I have to wait till I pass over to have that love that I dreamed about all my life. It's cruel and unfair, but it's my path. I made the comment that I want an empty, they said, not so fast, little one. All right, whatever, I don't have time to talk to you right now. I'm making a video. I know I did make cracks at Santa Muerto, but this doesn't mean we have an open dialogue right now, please. I don't have the psychic mental space to do 3 conversations at once. Thank you. I made the comment that I want an empty bottle to go with my bottle collection, meaning the skull bottles. Last night I found one for sale on Marketplace, so I'm off to Indooroopilly to pick it up in an hour's... Don't run your finger up and down my spine like that old black magic. I don't even know who you are. You have to identify yourself before you interact with me. I'm not actually schizophrenic, people. I know it looks that way, but I actually am not. But why I'm laughing, they just said, cara mia. They're really, whoever it is, they're really winding me up. Really winding me up. So, okay. Thank you, I appreciate that. That's very nice. But no shenanigans must happen during my videos. I'm laughing so much at that. That is kind of delightful. Being stirred up by unseen entities. Kind of delightful in a way. Last night I found one for sale on Marketplace, so I am off to Indooroopilly to pick it up in an hour's time. They just said, Santa Muerto says it's not the men in your life, but the life in your men that counts. And they're using my own little pithy quoting of Mae West against me. Yes, we want a living man, a man of full vibrancy, of pure intention, of deep love for, the Tanya, the Mama T. We want a living incarnate one who's not evil. That would be nice for a change. Thank you. You have to laugh. Incoming, they say. Incoming. All right, well, your time frames and human time frames never quite line up. Last night I found one for sale on Marketplace, so I'm off to Indooroopilly to pick it up in an hour's time. The funny thought is that I've been very fortunate in getting what my little heart desires lately. This was in, what year was this? I was on some weird lucky vibe for a while there. 2020. I was had a run of things manifesting very quickly. I'm also searching for another Balinese bench seat to match the one I already have as dining furniture. A nice antique one was available, but it was $600, so out of my price range. But I know when the time is right and I have enough money, the right one will land in my lap, which it did. I didn't end up buying a Balinese one, but I did buy a little antique one, and it wasn't so expensive. It was, I think I paid about $200. But I need to, I'll show you. I need to get it reupholstered or buy the leather and have a crack at reupholstering it myself. But it's actually really lovely. It's rosewood. Can you see it? And so, yeah, the leather, because it's antique, the leather's all... Can you see it? No, that's the floor. Let's do this. Yeah, here we are. The leather's all cracking and shot to hell, and all like pulling apart, and it's all kind of shit, and there's a big split in it. So I've got the tacks. Interestingly, I got those off a curbside collection. Someone threw out a whole heap of hardware, which was perfect. I grabbed that, and I did attempt to buy leather for it, but I wanted a purple colour. I know, weird. And the woman said that the colour that on the Facebook Marketplace was actually burgundy, and I said, oh, burgundy would do. And, you know, I need it to be a certain width and length, and she never got back to me. Bloody, you get so many idiots, even people selling there. It's like they post things and then they don't actually follow through with trying to sell the item. It's just weird and rude. I don't know why you'd even do that. Like, are you selling it or not? Like, time wasters. So anyway, I never heard back from her. So I'm still chasing some nice leather to do up that chair, but that's okay, because I'll buy it from probably a leather place company, and I'll get the colour I want, and hopefully the right size I want, and I might have a crack at doing that myself. Because taking it to an upholsterer would cost a fair bit of money, I would think. So anyway, and if I can't do it myself, if I fail miserably, well, I guess I'll have wasted that leather then. But so the pressure will be on me to make sure I don't fuck it up. However, I could take it, I guess, to an upholsterer and get a quote. It might not be as expensive as I think. Depends, I don't know. I don't know anything about what upholsterers charge these days. But anyway, the plan was to do it myself, because I like to learn skills and I like to stretch myself a little bit. Anyway, here I wrote, I wish I were as lucky with my love life as I am with manifesting items I need or want around the house. Laughing my ass off. Well, I might not be lucky with my love life, but I am lucky with wonderful friends who tolerate me in my weird and wild, quirky ways. And you know what? That is a very powerful love that I do immensely value and cherish. So, you know, having an intimate, sexual, mutually exclusive partner with me 24/7, you know, would be very hard to get used to, because I've lived alone for nearly 30 years. So there'd be a lot of settling in, kind of teething problems, getting used to living with a person again. So there's that, and also it might not be what it's cracked up to be if they're not simpatico with my personality and my intelligence and my spirituality. It's, you know, it's, I don't know if I'll ever meet anyone that can completely vibe with me, so there is that too. And but that's negative thinking, because other people find their true loves, am I right? Some of them find them when they're very, very young. Some of them find them when they're very, very old. And I'm just puddling about in the middle age, late stage, middle age minefields of, you know, circumspection, waiting to see who was meant to be for me, really. And I haven't really gone out dating yet, so there is that. I probably should start actively dating and giving people opportunities to at least get to know me a little bit on some level. But, you know, I just find it all too freaking triggering and terrifying, really. So I guess I'm not ready yet. I'll just sit back and, you know, keep living my best life. It's the best thing to do. Just live your life, and time takes time, and eventually it's, you know, all over anyway. So, you know, you run out of time and your life's been spent dancing wildly every weekend, enjoying your friends, and that's not such a bad life actually for me. It gives me a lot of joy and delight. So look at this one. Just snuggled right in. Snuggled right into the mama. Right, let's carry on. New possum box made by Peter Sloan. Thanks, Peter. I have to take this charger out, it's driving me nuts. But yes. Julie Butler, who's a Facebook friend, recommended my octopus teacher, excuse me, on Netflix. It's truly wonderful. I've got some kind of can't quite clear it. Anyway, it made me homesick for Island Bay that had similar kelp forests. I was once grabbed around the ankle by an octopus while wading in the shallow streams between the first and second channel going to Goat Island that in low tide you could actually in certain points walk across to. It would be that shallow. I screamed so loudly that several neighbourhood men ran to find out what was wrong. My octopus teacher did not relinquish my ankle easily. Lol. I later saw it as karma for all the times my father captured octopi in buckets of seawater and had me gently poke their suckers to feel their reactions. After seeing this film, I realised that it probably just was curious about my luminous white flesh wading through its territory, but I was 7, so hadn't understood that. 17th of September 2019, sort of almost the equivalent of being chosen by Cthulhu in a way. I was living a horror-scape even at that age, at 7. So the irony is not quite lost on me. 17th of September 2019, 11:11 a.m. Good morning from the multiverses, winky face. Wherever you be thine own self, true to your own nature. Speak thy truth, head held high. Gaze into the souls of others. Shrink from no man, woman, or child. If you don't like what you see, or your own gaze is not welcome, walk on by and be free, blessed. Smile into the void. Sooner or later, they will come. The ones who see you as you are in all your bright uniqueness, who will love you without fear or judgment, who will honour you wholeheartedly and wholesomely. It might not be a human, and that is okay. Smiley face. It's true, isn't it, Charlie? It's not always humans that love us, but birdies or dogs or pussycats or horses or pet pigs or rabbits or lizards. My friend Danny has a pet eastern monitor lizard. It's a wonderful friend to her. There's my other wonderful friend. Oh, my beautiful boy. I miss you. Who have we got here? Ah, we're getting kisses. I miss his kisses. A storm is coming. Oh, the frisson. Praise be, let it rain. 17th of September 2018. Jared was over and we dressed Beauregard and Harvey up in one of my boa feather stoles. And they looked so cute and delightful. Look at him. He's like, I hate you so much, Mama. I'm thinking about killing you right now. But he looks so cute. Look. When he realised how much we were laughing and delighting in it, he played along quite magnificently. Penny was less impressed, but cats don't like being covered with things. And look at his face. He's like, what the fuck, Mama? What? Oh, he's so cute. Beauregard and drag. Harvey and drag. Charlie as herself. Yes, Charlie as herself. Crystal has found a shaman willing to work with me. He does volcanic healing. I have to giggle as I have no idea what that involves, but being an Aries with a fiery spirit and the emblem of the burning bush tattooed on my left upper arm, how could I expect anything less than volcanism? Lol. Didn't end up going through with it. I ended up having that putrescent, almost murderous surgery instead. But anyway, 17th of September 2017. I had a prejudicial childhood, a fraught, dangerous adulthood, and now I enter the twilight zone where the last few years, or Be'ezrat Hashem, by the will of God, decades, I get to bring light and wisdom to my world, radiantly, blissfully shining through all the cracks in my psyche, spirit, and broken down but healed body. I have earned my right and privilege to be happy, to be loved, and to live in peace and freedom. I take up my space in this place and I face my life, all of it, with awareness, clarity, and respect for my journey and life experiences. I posted a article from the couriermail.com.au. Will the world end on Saturday? You get these doom and gloomy cults these freaks of nature that just feed off fear and loose feed, and they probably make money out of it. So every few years or so, some other cult or religious sect says, the world's going to end, and everyone, not everyone, but some very foolish, naive, gullible people go to pieces and sell everything up and bend over and literally take it up the arse. Like the Jones massacre, that was terrible. Or that other cult that thought that aliens were going to come and remove them from planet Earth and take them to another planet, so they all poison themselves. I mean, it's really fucking mental, completely insane. But anyway, every now and then even the newspaper gets in on the act. Will this world end on Saturday? And then they wrote, rather whimsically, that's this coming Saturday, just in case you had any last minute things to get done. Winky face and laughing emoji. So yeah, they kind of were taking the piss. But honestly, it's disturbing how many times that's happened in our modern history. It's just disturbing. I guess it's probably happened in ancient history too. But anyway, I have to think about that carefully. It probably has happened, but I think the ancients were a bit more realistic about, our planet and life, and had more respect for human life than to tell everyone to top themselves in the name of some alien god that no one's ever heard of and probably doesn't exist. I'm not saying that alien gods don't exist completely, I'm just saying the made up bullshit that these cultists feed off their followers, like, it's just profoundly evil and really kind of debauched, actually. Anyway, I write, sings, it's the end of the world as we know it. Ha ha, fucking moronic doomsdayers and their depression bombs. Ha ha ha. Insane, joyous, hysterical laughter from one whose world ended many, many times. And oops, look at that, we are still here. Gnashing our teeth, beating our breasts, and thrashing around on the Gilgulim, the ever-twirling wheels of incarnation and reincarnation. I will be here and not here, long after many worlds collide. E.T. comes home, and life as we know it evolves again. In spirit, anyway. Nothing is ever lost or wasted in creation. It's the ultimate recycler. Think about it. It's good practice. Reuse, recycle, replace, rebuild, reattach, reconstitute, reclaim, re-love even. Energy cannot die, it can only transmute, says the blowfly buzzing around my living room. Why, he used to be the cleaner in the House of Lords, but he stole too many Pontefracts, so he refractalized as a fly in a humble Australian Housing Commission abode. If only I could turn him back into his former glory, he might do my dusting and mop my floors. But alas, he is all fly-blown. Meanwhile, in a shul near you, shul means temple or synagogue. Oh, this is brilliant. I absolutely love this. I have to show it to you because I'll read it out to you, but it's so true of Jews in the high holy days. It's meant as a joke, but it's kind of too accurate. Oh, there goes my friend Peter. Oh, well, he's not coming to see me. Oh, well, anyway. Oh, he's going to see my neighbour across the road, his other friend. Well, that's all right. He probably will pop in and see me in that case after he's been to see his friend. His friend, the engineer. Now, isn't that funny? Because didn't I say earlier in this video that I'm feeling all vibey as if someone's coming to see me and I can pick up on the energy? I could be wrong. He might not come over, but there's a friend that's there. So my intuition's cooking on gas as usual. Thank you, angels, because sometimes I worry that I'm crazy, but here's proof to you, people of Earth watching this video. You know, you heard me talking to unseen entities before, and it all looks very fucking crazy, but here's the evidence. The white car, you can't quite see it, or I'd show it to you, parked in front of, I forget my neighbour's name. It's a very nice man. Well, there you go. I'm delighted. I feel like doing a I Dream of Jeannie nod, because I got that right. He's just getting out of the car now, all in a hurry, because he's always got some kind of mania going on, to be frank, going to visit his engineer friend. It'll be to discuss something to do with the car he's designing and building. Anyway, all good. High holiday seating request form, because Rosh Hashanah, the 10 days from Rosh Hashanah, Jewish New Year, culminates in Day of Atonement, and then 4 days later there's another very important holiday called Simchat Torah. So it's like the 10 days of awe, and then in 4 days is another week with another long, intense holiday. Sukkot follows on from that, and it's bang, 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 bang. Busy, 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 especially for Jewish wives, doing all the fucking cooking and cleaning, my God. It's another reason why I absconded from that religion. It's too much work. Oh, Charlie, my goodness. That's a lot of work on your part too. And anyway, but it's coming, the high holidays, so here we go. Let's have a laugh at this. It's delightful. During the recent high holidays, many individuals expressed concern over the seating arrangements at the synagogue. In order to place you in a seat which will best suit you, we ask you to complete the following questionnaire and return it to the synagogue as soon as possible. Note, you can use Adobe Reader to fill out this form electronically. In case you are a doctor, i.e. bad handwriting. I'm not a doctor, but I've got very bad handwriting. I could have been a doctor with my handwriting. I'd probably make as much sense as some of the doctors I've had, but anyway, we won't go there with that. We'll be nice. We'll be nice to doctors today. I do have a wonderful doctor, my psychiatrist. He's the only wonderful doctor I have. The only one, Kenobi. You are my only hope, Kenobi. But anyway, apart from that little bit of whimsy and kind of humorous bit of cheekiness, which he gets, he understands my humour. So here you've got the options. I would prefer to sit in the talking section or in the non-talking section. So you had 2 options for that one. It's delightful because all they ever do is talk all the time, hardly even bother praying. I don't even know half the time why they bother going. It's blows your mind. It's very comical to see. In fact, you're not allowed to take videos on the Sabbath, but I used to think, I wish I could take a video of all these people pretending to be religious on the Jewish New Year, just talking about sports or their latest car they've just bought. It's a Jewish joke, but they really do that. They really do. If the talking section, which area of expertise, you may choose more than one. Stock market, sports, medicine, general gossip, specific gossip, usually about the Tanya, by the way, fashion, sex, computers, smartphones, neighbours, rabbi, cantor, gabbai. Gabbai is a person that brings everything in and makes sure that everything's available, you know, everything's set up for the rabbi and the cantor and the congregation, puts out all the prayer books. He's the, you know, he's the organiser. Prime Minister, other. Oh, you know what, that's so fucking delightful, because the top of the list is stock market, sports and medicine, which is kind of true. And, yeah. Which of the following would you like to be near for a free consultational, a free professional consultation? You may choose. It's true though, because there's a lot of professionals in our community, because we're hard-working people and we've come from a diaspora. We've been driven out from pogroms and holocausts and various horrific events, refugees, never having our own land for centuries. So we tend to be overachievers and end up doctors, lawyers, accountants, even Prime Minister once, and, you know, computer professionals. So there's always at least one in any congregation, am I right? Usually at least one is guarantee is a doctor. So it's very comical. So here they write, choose one. You may choose more than one, but we can't guarantee who you'll be near. And then the offerings are lawyer, doctor, sexologist. We have a sexologist in our Brisbane community. Apparently she's very good at it too. These will be harder to fit because of the lack of Jewish specialists. Well, that's not true, because we have one. I can name her. I haven't been to her because I don't have a problem with sex. I just have a problem getting sex because of my trauma issues. Maybe I should go and see her though. Maybe I have to work up the femme fatale persona, but you know, I'm not hanging myself out to dry. I'm waiting for the one who loves me deeply and will be loyal and faithful and a good man to me. I'm not interested in having multiple sexual partners. I'm done with that shit. Anyway, lawyer, doctor, sexologist, chiropractor, accountant, stockbroker, computer professional. They also have the same asterisk that says these will be harder to fit because of the lack of Jewish specialists. I know a few Jewish computer professionals. Well, anyway, I don't know why they were down on them. Real estate agent, dentist. I notice they don't have any ticking the box for Jewish witches or Jewish shamans there. I guess they're in denial about that one. It's why they're busy gossiping about the Tanya still to this day. Sad little mofos. I want to be located, this is delightful too, near my in-laws, away from my in-laws, far from my ex-in-laws, near the exit, near the pulpit, near the kiddush table. Kiddush is where you have your afternoon tea at the end of the service. Well, I know which box my mother-in-law will pick. Near the kiddush table. Mine will be far from my ex-in-laws and near the exit. I'd be conflicted. I'd have to tick both those boxes. Oh dear goddess. I want to be seated. These are the options. Where I can see my spouse over the mechitza, which is the dividing line that divides the men from the women, right? Like a big curtain they have down the middle, or upstairs. The women sit upstairs at Margaret Street. And they all look up. They all look up. The men are meant to be davening, praying with kavana, with deep devotion, but they're keeping one eye on all us women, including the ones they're not married to. So it defeats the purpose, really. I used to find that hilarious. Where I can see my spouse over the mechitza, where I can see my friend's spouse over the mechitza, where I can't see my spouse over the mechitza, where my spouse can't see me seeing my friend's spouse over the mechitza. Oh, I like that one. That's honest. Where no one on the beamer can see me talking, where I can sleep at any time during the services, where I can sleep during the rabbi's sermon, an extra charge for this popular service. Oh dear goddess, please don't place me anywhere near, and they got a long line to put lots of names down. Name, telephone number. Well, anyway, you kind of have to be Jewish to kind of really comprehend that, but it's so on point that I find it delightfully true. It's even inspired me. I might go to shul this Rosh Hashanah. Where can I go? Where can I go where I'll be welcomed? Nowhere. So maybe I won't. But it's just a lovely idea I had in my head about reclaiming my Jewish walk a bit more and getting back into it. If for nothing else, just to give them something to gossip about. Oh, wouldn't they shit if I walked into, what do they call it now? They would. There's quite a few of them that would literally shit if I walked in and said, right, I'm here, it's Rosh Hashanah, Chag Sabeach, Lashana Tova, Tikkun Tevu, let's get down to business, bring out my machzor, start praying. They would literally shit because it's been that long since I walked into that space. It's been a long, long time. They nearly shat the last time I walked in. In fact, I got haunted by my dead mother. They have her on they have my non-Jewish dead mother, who was evil to me, on the Yizkor list, because I guess for many years I was a member, so they did that. I don't know why they did that. I asked them to take her off the list. She's not Jewish. She doesn't belong on that list. I don't want to be haunted by my mother when I go to the few rare times I go to services. But here's, as fate would have it, right? I went with my beautiful friend Sally. She's a witness. I said to Sally, I'm feeling very spiritually innovated today. It's intense. I'm vibing. Something's going to happen. Come to shul with me, Tanya. She said, Yizkor, it was Day of Atonement. I said, I don't know, Sally. I'm such a heathen. Just come, it'll do you the power of good. We get there, we sit there for Yizkor. The list goes round, everyone has a turn reading out the names of our dearly departed, you know. Those of you whose departed ones are indeed still dear to them. It's a beautiful tradition. The list goes all around, amongst all the congregation. There were a lot of people there that day. And it comes to me without a word of a lie. It was my mother's name that I had to read out. I went pale and I started shaking because it's literally like being haunted by her, by the dibuk in the roof. Am I right? I still remember the shock. And Sally says my reaction, looks over at the paper, sees my mother's name. And she just looks at me. She said, I'll read it for you, Tanya. I nod, handed it to her. She says the name, passes on the paper for the next person to read names, you know. She looks at me, she said, she can't hurt you anymore, Tanya. I said, you don't understand, Sally. My mother was Dialta Hexa, the old witch. I said, if she can haunt me in this most profound way, in temple, on Yizkor, on Yom Kippur, she can fucking haunt me anywhere. And I said, that's why I'm upset. Because at that time she'd been dead. This would have been about 6 years ago now. I said, she can get to me anywhere. I said, that's how evil she is. Still, after all this time, has not transmuted, has not evolved. I still get chills thinking about it. And that's not the reason why I haven't gone back to shul, though. The reason why I didn't go back to that shul, I was annoyed with that. I asked them to remove her from the list, and they wrote back that they have got many other members, non-Jewish parents on the list, and, you know, why should they remove them? And I said, well, they've got loving parents that they want to remember. My mother was not loving to me, and I don't want her remembered in this way, since technically she's actually not Jewish. And so they wouldn't comply with that. So I thought, fuck you, I'm not going ever again. Fuck you. Fuck you. If you want to keep people that I have told you quite openly and honestly were damaging, not just to me, but to her granddaughters and her other daughter and granddaughter in New Zealand. And if you don't believe my reality when I tell you she does not belong on that yes call list, then I can't help you with that. But I will not participate in your wallowing in that level of despotic evil, by the way. So it leaves me without a congregation. I mean, I could go down to the Gold Coast Temple. They don't really know me down there, so they probably won't have any particular evil antipathy towards me, except when I walk in with my short, fat, Polish, German-looking face. Immediately some people react as if I'm the enemy and the other. I had a lifetime of that here in Brisbane too. But I don't think they'd be nasty to me. I mean, I've got time. I could write them an email and say I'd like to attend a Rosh Hashanah service, and how much money do I have to donate so I can come that day. And by the way, I'm Tanya Aarons, and can I just please have a service where I'm not leered at or stared at like I'm some fucking neo-Nazi because some other person's fucking prejudices against me based on bullshit. And can I just come and pray in peace and go in peace and live in peace and honour the Holy One as a Jew for the first time in many years? I'd like to do that actually, but I guess I'd have to go somewhere else, Melbourne or Sydney or somewhere else. There's too much evil bullshit's been done to my name and reputation here by too many evil, rotten, fucking bloodless curs. It's true. It's God's honest truth. Anyway. So I'm still tossing up in my mind whether I go back to worship God in a Jewish way just one more time maybe. It's odd. It's odd that I even want to do that. It's odd. It's unusual. I guess it's to compensate for me dancing wildly every Friday night in the Shabbat with my other tribe, my witchy tribe, my wild ones, my free ones, my magical ones, who I love just as much as I loved my Jewish tribe as well. Yes, I did used to love them deeply too in that time frame when I was living the Jewish lifestyle with my little children. That's why all the damage they did to me was even more cruel and sadistic, knowing that I was alone, isolated, divorcing and under complete threat, and they just, instead of being kind, kicked me even further down. It's unforgivable actually. Gonna come back, I'm gonna wash this schmutter. Right, my beloved ones, let's carry on with this video. And Madam's back up here, which you know what that means, what she's going to do from a great height. What are you talking to? Who are you talking to, Charlie? Bobo's in Valhalla. Bobo's in Valhalla. I know there's spirits around. They were trying to talk to Mama while she made the video before. But I was right. I was right about someone coming, surprising us. Yeah. 17th of September 2016, 4:42 a.m. Oh my God, a magical and wild night. My casino friends bought me drinks and even spoiled me with casino chocolates. I had a fantastic time. So surprised and grateful as I did not think after today's horror and epic disappointment that I could weave shit into spiritual gold yet again, especially with my slaughtered heart. I'm a very powerful woman. I'm very powerful. I don't give myself enough credit. But sometimes the angels of mayhem and mischief throw me a bone. I could not have anticipated such love in the room and such admiration. It just goes to show that warriors have to do what they do best. Keep getting up, keep fighting, dancing, being awesome. A serious handicap like mine is quickly forgiven by souls that vibe together. To my beautiful ones that love me, no matter how crazy or difficult my life gets, and there were times when it was life-threatening and very, very debilitating indeed. Madness is contagious. It surrounds me, brings me absurdist clarity and humour. It is sometimes so hard to live with, this great gift of trauma. But when it shines a light in strangely dark places, it is magnificent. 17th of September 2015. That light being shone in strangely dark places is Lucifer. The emanation, the bright phosphorescent light just bringing wisdom and enlightenment out of the void, out of the darkness. That is actually the Roman Lucifer god, or the Greco-Roman Lucifer god, god of Lucifer, or phosphor. So I hadn't even realised that when I wrote that at that time, what I was putting down, but I have that knowledge now. So that also gives me chills, how I intuit things so fucking accurately at times. 17th of September 2015. Jared visited and dropped off Harvey. So I get a weekend of epic Jack Russell cuddles. Oh, I miss Harvey's cuddles. I do, he was a wonderful dog. I burnt my toast and the smoke alarm went off. I leapt up in the air in fright and Harvey had a nervous breakdown. He was a very nervous dog, had a lot of, his anxiety was as bad as mine actually. It took me a few minutes to calm him down. We are okay now. Oh, bless. 8:53 a.m. Been up all night stringing necklaces to wear. I also watched House of Cards. I Skyped with Annie in Wales. It was lovely to see her. I put away lots of findings the cats had kicked over. Finally getting sorted in the back room. Lots to still go through, to throw out. I'm sick of sitting on useless stuff that takes up space. I had a productive night, screwing the curtain rail holders back in so I can hang my pots properly. Then rearranged my bead curtains in the kitchen window so they are more symmetrical. It has been like a bad bout of OCD, but it will pass. I don't actually have OCD per se, except when I overcompensate or get too perfectionist. I even cleared most of the kitchen bench top, washed dishes. I still need to mop the floors, but I feel like I am making progress. Now time to schluff. I'm almost breathless with anticipation. What the fuck is wrong with me? Anyway, I must calm my nervous system down. 17th of September 2014. My neighbour's kids were upset that their 3 goldfish died in the fire. So I said, I will give them some of my babies. I said, it won't bring these guys back, but you can give them a nice funeral and then you can have some of mine. The little girl, aged about 11, was relieved, and it took the sting out of the loss. They never did come for little baby fish. I was willing to give them some, you know. Poor kids. Then one of her brothers, which will be that fucking weird boy, he's a young man now, goes down. He's always talking to himself and he's always weird. He even walks like a zombie, which I'm not judging because I did the zombie walk when I was on hefty psych meds too. I'm not judging him for that, but he's not well, that lad. I don't know what condition he has, but he's not right. And it'll be this kid. Listen to what this kid had to say. They'd just had a fire and their 3 little goldfish burned to death in the fire. This is what this kid said. Then one of her brothers said, "Can I poke the dead ones till their eyes pop out?" With a malevolent grin on his face. Little fucking psychopath in the making, am I right? The sister gasped. She was a very nice little girl. I said calmly, "No, and that is such a boy thing to want to do." He accepted my refusal quite readily, proving he was not a true psychopath in the making, although I beg to differ. Some years have passed since then, 10 fucking years. He walks past, he gives me these weird looks too, like really malevolent kind of looks, so I just look back. I mean, I don't really have a relationship with that boy. I keep myself very, very, very rarely engaged with his father because father's a bit sweet on me too. At that time he was still married, but after they separated, I kept my head down even more so because he's a very nice man. He's never done me any harm, but I just don't want to have enmeshments of the romantic kind with my neighbours because that's a recipe for disaster too. Anyway, I said to the girl, "You better have that funeral ASAP when you come back from the hotel." They were having to stay in a hotel because of the fire and the asbestos or something had to be done. Anyway, she nodded. Poor kid, having brothers. Ooh. Well, some brothers can be wonderful brothers, but I didn't have any brothers. I just had the neighbourhood kids down the road that were kind of brothers to me, and they could be annoying at times too, even though they weren't even technically my brothers, so there is that. I have been outside cleaning the fish pond filters, and don't worry, I was one of the boys. I was a tomboy as a kid. I used to get really jealous that they wouldn't let me play cricket, and I was flax jumping and horse riding, and I was very much, a tomboy. And filling up the ponds. I was cleaning the fish pond filters and filling up the ponds, I said. I watered the back garden. Excuse me being scattered everywhere. I've got an energy right behind me, standing right behind me, and they're kind of oppressing me a little bit. You have to back off. I don't know who you are, and you're not allowed to oppress me. If you were a living person doing that, I'd tell you to back off too. Thank you. So I don't know what's going on today. It's going to be one of those very spiritually attuned days. Now resting a bit on my couch, feeling exhausted, but I have to drive to Helensvale to pick Crystal up and drive her home. After I saw my psych, I went to Garden City and bought some art supplies. So I will be keeping busy decoupaging and painting the cases. No, I don't want to hear fairy stories and lies being told to me either. No, I don't know. I don't know what you're saying exactly, but I don't want to hear it. I'm making a video. Boundaries, people, boundaries. Do I have to get out the smudge and sage this whole feckin' house? Anyway, so there's a shift happening. Probably, you know why? Because I upset myself trying to figure out if I'm going to temple or not for Rosh Hashanah. And so they've all moved in, you know. Yes, keep busy decoupaging and painting the cases. I had a debrief with my doctor today. He said I have been riding a train of traumatic events, and the woman and child in my home reopened my own childhood issues of neglect, chaos, and confusion, and I had risen to the occasion to go into protector mode. Yes, I did. He said I am managing my trauma, and even though it became very out of control with numerous events taking place at the same time, I had had some positive resolutions, i.e. Chair fighting the abusive drunk guy culminated in him being fined by police, and having to give notice to Geeta as I feared for her bird and child put me in a position that was emotionally distressing given my concerns for their welfare. It very much did so. He agrees that there was something very wrong with that picture. I also told him about yesterday's fire and how only the night before that I had prayed to the universe for peace, safety, and serenity, and asked him when that will ever happen. When indeed. When indeed. He thinks I'm being made to manage my trauma and go into warrior and or protector mode, and this is how I am being healed. I think that's a very valid, salient point. In fact, there was a lot of healing that came out of it. Not right away, but over time as things sort of went back into equilibrium, equanimity, and yes, there was a lot of deep healings actually. On the coal face, in the fire, almost literally. But Ezrat Hashem, by the will of God, that the good Lord gives me some respite. I like to be wild and help people, but I have serious limitations, financial, emotional, mental, and can I say, enough already. I really need rest and regrouping, and I have had enough recurrent trauma. All right, when we finish this video, I will open up to you in the appropriate proscribed way with lots of protection prayers. And then if you are of the light and you still wish to communicate with me, you may do so then, but not now. It's rude, it's inappropriate, and you're on human time now. I don't have energy to split myself 5 ways for you or any entity, living, dead, supernatural or natural. Respect my boundaries, please. They're intense. Something's going to happen. Something big's happening. But this doesn't usually happen like this. All these organic gardening memes remind me that I need to spread the horse poo I got from Lynn. Like I'm almost shaking. And buy some sulfate of potash to help the poop nutrients break down into the soil. Crystal has some rabbit poo for me too. Rubs hands together. My roses really love bunny poop. Oh, I miss those rabbits. Not just for their poop, but in general, they were lovely pets. 17th of September 2013. I had a lovely time with Lynn, Peter and Puppy. Puppy gave me lots of cuddles and pats, and really enjoyed the snippets of bun I gave her. Yes, 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 I'm nearly finished, all right? Calm your farm. She's a large cattle dog cross, so we had to remind her remind her to take food from my hand very, very gently. She is awesome. Lynn made me a nice lamb dinner. Yum. A storm blew through, so we got to watch the lightning and the rain, which was welcome after so much dryness. 17th of September 2012. Here's a lovely photo. We called it The Happening. It was my party to celebrate my getting my small inheritance. We all got pissed, quite frankly. We needed that stress release. We really did. Tanya and Jared celebrating the end of the will dispute. They all had to talk me through it so many times that they carried the burden of stress too. I gifted him a beautiful ukulele as a present for all his support during that time, and I bought Crystal. Did I buy Crystal a ukulele too? No, but I gave her $8,000. And I gave Jasmine $2,000 to start fixing her teeth. And I didn't give her as much money because I didn't have much. And also, she'd already been estranged to me for some years, and it was kind of a chutzpah to even ask me for money. But I figured she had all the stress growing up when we were being brutalised and threatened with mutilation and rape for 18 months by the Rosilio babies in Waterford West. So I thought I owed her to give her at least some of my inheritance. But you know, that was a big chunk of my inheritance gone, and now they're both estranged. So you can't imagine the disgust and the horror that I feel now, how I've been treated as a mother. But never mind, life. I've got spirits wanting to talk to me, so I've got to finish this video. I'm prioritising them now because they're serious. They're still hammering at me, waiting. This is the energy, like waiting for me to... I wonder what they have to say. I hope it's not more nonsense about my love life that's not even real. I'll be really annoyed if I got interrupted for that. But anyway, they're laughing in the background, so it probably is. Enjoyed shul for Rosh Hashanah. Been so long, I thought I'd forgotten all the Hebrew prayers, but I managed to daven, that means pray, well. I even had an aliyah, which is when they call you up to read the blessings before and after each Torah portion. It's a very huge honour, and it's nearly always gifted to me actually, because they know I've had a hell of a life, and I need all the blessings from the Ein Sof Or down to Malkut that any mortal can get, still to this day. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the blessings they all bestowed upon me. Some of them superciliously and a bit out of guilt, quite frankly, but bear that in mind. A blessing on your head is a blessing on your head, babies. It was nice to meet some new people and see some old friends. So what year was that? 2012. 12 years ago. I have been to shul since then, but it's been a long time. I really need to go. The Holy One's calling me into service, as he does from time to time. Update, 17th of September 2022. Gosh, almost Rosh Hashanah on 25th of September. The old year is going out with lots of sweetness and blessings for the Tanya, Mama T, the lapsed Jew, winky face. Be'ezrat Hashem, The beautiful, I want to cry, I feel with some emotion. Well, why is that? I'm not safe in that community. I'm not welcome. I'm not respected. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. Anyway, it'll make sense in the end, people of Earth. It always does. But Ezrat Hashem, the beautiful blessings continue to unfold exponentially this coming year, with harm to none and competition with none. So it is done. Amen. V'salam. 17th of September 2008. I almost went to the Mexican night at the Brooklyn Standard last night. They had a special, they have every Monday a mariachi band. I haven't been there on the Monday night for the mariachi band, but they have every Monday, they have this band and a Mexican kind of flavour, which is lovely. I mean, I haven't been there, but I'm sure it's lovely. But last night they had, it was, I can't remember if it was Mexican Independence Day or what, but they had a big celebration last night. I actually wanted to go. I was going to put on my Mexican dress and everything and just, you know, go in and have a couple of drinks and dance to the Mexican music, the mariachi band. But I didn't really have enough money, and because I don't get paid till after midnight last night, so I was like, fuck it, I don't really have enough money. And I could have stretched it a little bit, you know, just I could have almost made it, but then I thought, no, I'll be too stressed and I'll be too upset and worried and anxious and I won't have a nice time. So I didn't go. And you know what? I'm sorry I didn't go now, but it's okay, because I can go to the mariachi band on another Monday evening some other time when I do have enough money and I'm not anxious and stressed. And yeah, see what that vibe's like. Well, I know what that vibe will be like. It'll be quite Latin and sweet. But anyway, my other favourite band, because I support both Ramjet and Alter Egos. So my handsome, talented, wonderful men, alter egos, it's how I talk to them. I talk to them like that and they just indulge me because they probably think, crazy Tanya, she's so fucking crazy. But they know me. They've known me for many years. So anyway, I'm going to support them on Friday night and I'm looking forward to that. Hell, I might even wear my Mexican dress Friday night as well. I'll see what mood I'm in. Because there's certain moods I have to be in for certain dresses. You can tell what my mood's like by what I'm wearing sometimes. I used to have this young lass when I lived in the unit complex after I left my husband, and I used to do a lot of musical therapy, so I'd play certain types of music depending on my mood. And she was quite an astute little girl, this one, young woman. I was 29, you know, going on 30, or I think I was already 30 when I was living in those units. Just barely turned 30. Anyway, she'd walk up the hill to my unit and she'd say, I know what mood you're in. Oh, what mood am I in? Her name was Simone. Turned to be a treacherous vampiric bitch at the end, as that people often do. But anyway, she'd say, you're happy today. How do you know I'm happy today? No one can tell that I'm happy today. Look at this resting bitch face. She'd like, you're happy today. And I'd be playing, I had a soundtrack that I played that was in French from a movie, French Kiss. Very romantic and nice, lovely songs. You're playing French Kiss, you're happy today. And then she'd carry on walking, and then another day she'd come in, you're angry today. Oh, am I? What gives you that idea? You're playing Nirvana, and you're playing, you know, I'd be playing all the hard rock music, and I went, it's not necessarily that I'm angry, it's that I'm feeling empowered. And she'd like, no, but you also happen to be angry. She said, I can feel it reverberating out the front of your unit. She was very empathic in that regard. So another time she'd come back and she'd say, "You're sad today." And I was like, "Why don't you come and have a cup of tea with me and actually find out where I'm really at, because I might surprise you, baby girl." And she'd just laugh, you know. Anyway, we were friends for a while there, but then she turned rancid and peer group pressure, because they all turned rancid. I had to escape those units. It was fucking awful what was done to me there. That's why I don't like humans to this day. Anyway, I have one more reading to do. 17th of September 2008. Tanya is happy to be spending time with both her girls. Oh. Thus concludes today's readings of even date. Copyright Tanya Desiree Aarons. But yes, Viva Mexico. Might go there one day, buy a nice frock, if nothing else. Find myself maybe a nice man one day, maybe a Mexican Jewish man, maybe not. I had a few friends in my Jewish community. Well, I had two friends who were both Mexican and Jewish. Well, Efren was not raised as a Jew but had Jewish ancestry, and that I spoke about in my videos the other day. He actually asked me, very sweetly, young man, you know, he was 10 years younger than me, I think, when I worked with him at the police academy, and we all had lunch together, a whole group of women, and Efren would come and join us, which was delightful. He was a lovely young man. And anyway, he one time, you know, because he's here all alone, you know, as some sort of exchange program. So one time he said to me, did you know that I'm Jewish? I said, "No, I did not, Efren." He said, "Yes," he said, my father or grandfather was Jewish, and our family history goes all the way back to the conversos in Spain, which they used to get called the marranos, which means pigs. But they were, you know, they were ejected out of Spain, the Jewish population. This is in 1492, that long ago. And so they went all through Europe, and they ended up forming a community in Mexico. So anyway, he said to me, "Oh, I got chills. I've almost got dizzy, knocked off my chair. All right, I'm coming. Just be patient. You have eternity. I have human time. You're on my time now." So anyway, they're annoyed with me. So anyway, so he said to me, I hear you're putting on a Hanukkah party, which happens at Christmas time. Coincides usually 1 week or 2 weeks either side of Christmas. Sometimes it happens at the same time, but our holiday has got nothing to do with Christmas and goes for 8 days. It's a festival of light. So I said, "Yes, I am putting on a Hanukkah party. Who told you?" He said, "Rosie." Rosie had Jewish ancestry too, and although she was raised high Anglican, very good woman and very kind to me, helped me put on my bat mitzvah, which was almost cancelled and sabotaged by my own disgusting community, how they treated me. My rabbi had to go in to fight for me. That's how disgusting they were to me. This is why I have issues with being a Jew in Brisbane here, still to this day. A lot of trauma issues. Anyway, yes, ding, we'll shuck that off because ancient history, but it still bites at me to this day. So anyway, so he said, Rosie Price told me. I said, "Rosie Price told you?" I said, "Oh, that's okay." He said, and in the most seductive, sweet Mexican way, you know, the Mexican men, Spanish, Latin men can be very, very charming. He just went, "Would you consider inviting me since I too am Jewish?" I said, "Of course, Efren. It was so delightful the way he did it. I said, of course, my darling, of course you're invited. Of course I will include you. Bring a little girlfriend along, you know, bring your whoever you're dating at the moment, and come, we'll have a lovely party together. And he did come, didn't bring a date, just came on his own. Rosie, who was single, came on her own, and who else was there? Had a few people come from my Jewish community, that obviously people that still liked me. And we had a wonderful Hanukkah party together. It was lovely. Oh. So yes, there's a happy memory of that. I had some wonderful photos actually of him and Rosie and me and the kids, and celebrating Hanukkah together. I wonder where they are. But anyway, the other Mexican Jewish person was my friend Juan Simo, who was, oh, was he seductive. Whew, he was bad news. He was married though. So he'd get a little bit, oh, Tanya, you know, and flirty, and I'd be like, what do you want, Juanski? He used to do it to stir me up because he knew I'd go school marmish on him. He'd be like, oh, Tanya, you know you are so beautiful. And I'd be like, and he would laugh and I would laugh. And, you know, actually he was a wonderful friend too. A wonderful friend. He once put on a Mexican party at his home, you know, as a fundraiser for our temple. And those bastards, the men in our congregation, him and Dr. John Bradley and Gordon Senator, they were all in on it. They said to me, I'll make sure when you come to the party, Tanya, that you dress up, you know, as a Mexican. I said, really, is it fancy dress? Do you actually want us to dress up? And Juan, little shit, I should punch him out now for that. It was a bit nasty to set me up in that way, to be honest. He said, yes, you come to my party, you come dress Mexican. He goes, you got to fit in with the vibe, and you create the color and the atmosphere. And they're actually winding me up and kind of flirting with me at the same time. I used to call them the Habibi Club because they were all married and unavailable, but did they used to flirt and outrageously with me, and all the women would get jealous, but nothing was going on. Wasn't sleeping with any of them. Had no intention of it. Anyway, but so the joke was I called them the Habibi. Habibi in Arabic means my darling. So they were my darling club. Jared and I used to cry with laughter about that. So anyway, all the Habibis were like, come, dress Mexican. So Tanya takes things at face value. So I dressed my kids up nicely, and I wore my beautiful Mexican outfit, my dress, and turned up. And all the women were enraged. They said, why are you dressed up as a Mexican? I said, I was told to, that it was fancy dress. No one told us, they said. And one's wife, Marina, who came from Croatia, she said, it's my party and no one told me that it's Mexican dress. I went, well, why was I told then? And they all the women, they all kind of all looked at me like this. They realised that they'd been winding me up. Then I got offended. Quite frankly, I should have just fucking gone home and told them to all get fucked, right? But you dropped me in at the deep end. Mama swims. She's a very good swimmer, turning shit to spiritual gold. So I realised they'd set me up, right? And I thought, that's just fucking nasty, actually, to be fair. Even though we remained friends, I thought that's a bit of a low-hung fruit thing to do to me. I'm using that term not in a complimentary way. I think low-hung fruit means an opportunity that's easy to grab. So it's not quite what I mean by that. But you know what I mean? It was a low dog kind of thing to do to me. Make fun of me, right? Try and make me look stupid. So, all right. I said, I'm the only one dressed up as a Mexican. That's fine. I said, it's a long drive to go home to get changed, so I won't be coming back. I'll be going home. I actually said that to them because I was on to it then. And they all looked at me, and Geraldine, who, as it turned out later, had a permanent knife in my back. I actually thought she was a friend of mine. Geraldine, the Rabbitson, says to me, she lived very close by to Marina and Juan. So she said, no, Tanya, I have a Mexican dress at home. I wasn't told either that it was that we were supposed to dress to the occasion. So she said, come home with me and I'll put on my Mexican dress and I'll join you. You won't be the only one then. Marina just glared. So anyway, I don't know what that was about either, to be honest. So we go back to their Geraldine and Ori's place, and she just strips off in front of me, pulls all her clothes off in front of me, which I was a bit embarrassed about because we were friends, but we weren't such close friends that I, was comfortable seeing her nude body. Am I right? Anyway, those are my issues because I'm a bit prudish. I am a bit prudish. It's why I can look up my sexuality for years at a time. It doesn't bother me. It's either on or it's off. And if it's on, it's got to be with someone genuine. Otherwise, it's off. Off. Because I won't be brutalised or used or humiliated or degraded or debased by any man ever again. Frankly, I'd rather die. And that's always an option, babies. Always an option. Just ask Santa Muerte how she feels about that. So anyway, so Geraldine dresses in this exquisite Mexican dress, way better than mine. And she even put on a proper Mexican mantilla with the veil and everything, like a real one. Because they're wealthy people that can afford la creme de la creme, am I right? I don't know how to say la creme de la creme in Spanish, but the equivalent, the best of the best. So then I now look like a poor cousin peasant girl from some back village in some brutalized socioeconomically defunct Mexican village, and she looks like a queen, am I right? And that's okay. I'm not envious. I don't have an envious bone in my body. I said to her, Geraldine, mwah, mwah, you look exquisite. Let's go back to the party. So we walk in, Geraldine proud and happy, and all the men all went, and all the women, the remaining women, were seething with rage because they didn't have a Mexican costume. And Geraldine had decided in that moment to align with me, which was kind. In that moment, that was a kindness. Stabbed me in the back later, but that was a kindness what she did, because she knew it was nasty to do that to me, and I was going to go home. I would have gone home. Probably technically I should have gone home. Anyway, so one scoops, we have the party, and Marina made the most delicious mole. Mole is chicken cooked in the special chocolate, dark chocolate with all these amazing spices. I'd never eaten anything like that before, and it was literally to die for. Santa Muerte could have taken me then and there just for the mole alone. And anyway, so I'm eating this. I said, what is this called? Juan, he said, mole, my favourite. Oh, Marina, thank you for making the mole. And she's like proud because she's Croatian. And Croatian Slavic women are proud of their cooking and being domestic goddesses, and I praised her effusively too because it was a fantastic meal. I said, thank you so much. It was amazing cooking. And she even told me where to buy the special sauce to make the mole with. I've never went there. Even Efren once sent me the recipe for all the spices to make the mole. I never actually ended up, because I'm part Slav, but I'm not very domestic goddess. I'm wild and I'm free and untamable, and I guess if I got a man one day I'd have to learn how to be a wonderful cook and a domestic goddess. But Jesus. Anyway, I guess I could do it if the man was loving and kind enough, I'd be happily doing it for him, am I right? So anyway, so they make this beautiful meal and we're partaking. It was a potluck, so we'd all contributed other dishes and it was all Mexican type food and fare. And look, it was worth it to stick around just for the food along because Mama T fights on her belly, am I right? And I was thinking, oh, well, I'm glad I came now because the food was worth the humiliation and the debasement and the setups and the making fun of me a bit. So we did that. We had a wonderful meal. Even my daughters, who were fairly young still at that time, thoroughly enjoyed that meal. So thank you, Juan and Marina, to this day for that wonderful meal. And so, oh, the other nasty thing that had happened earlier in the day was I was helping chop the vegetables, and there was a bit of unpleasantness because I got bored, as I do. I said, oh, it'd be nice if we put on some music, and Marina yelled, no! And I was so astonished because I didn't think there was any harm in asking for music while we chopped all the vegetables and prepared for the meal, you know. So Juan went on and he put on the most fucking romantic Spanish music he probably owned, and then came out and just shot me a look, and that's kind of how all the tension started too. Him being, you know, hot-blooded and passionate, and me being wild and not giving a fuck, am I right? This is why I will never be able to get it together, because anyway, having said that, the evening ended up being a wonderful success. Geraldine and I were dressed as two gringos, as Mexican women. Oh, you have to laugh. And but very fabulously looking Mexican women. And even one said to me, oh, you know, you look so beautiful, Tanya. I don't know why you're still single. Back then, mind you, I was like 33, 34, I think I was. So I was still young, you know, still full of passion and vibrancy. And anyway, he said, I don't know why you're still single. Flirting outrageously. I said, because I hate men. Why else do you think I'm still single? Because I hate you all, Juan. He was a doctor, he was a GP by profession, so he thought that was hilarious. He says, I don't think you really hate us all. I said, no, not really, but that's my official party line and I'll be sticking to it. And he just laughed. He could see right through it. He could see right through it. Anyway, he said to me another time, he said, I said to him another time, I said, you know how I've been manifesting a Pajero, meaning the car, the four-wheel drive Pajero, right? Pajero in Spanish, pajero, means stallion, right? So... And this is my weird, dark sense of humour. So I said, oh, Juan. He goes, oh, yes, Tanya. He was so, look, honestly, he was so cute with me, but I never went there because I couldn't trust him. So anyway, he says to me, I said to him, you know how I've been manifesting a pajero, Juanski? Oh, yes, he said. He said, you found one, haven't you? How do you know that? He says, I can tell by the colours in your skin, because he's a doctor. I was like, you bastards. I hate how you do that. He just laughed. He said, well, he said, how is that going? I said, it's a disaster. I have to hang my boots back up again. How long are you going to hang those boots up this time, Tanya? I said, could be forever, Juanski. We just used to wind each other up. But anyway, it was just so funny. It was so funny. That's how he used to talk to me. You're so funny, Tanya. And I'd be like, you're so Mexican, Juanski. And we just butt up against each other like that. But it was actually kind of harmless harmless, good fun. Anyway, wherever you are, Juan, if you've seen my videos, you'll be like, I can't believe you're telling all these stories about me, Tanya, but they're all true. Mi amor, mi amigo. Anyway, yes, but he was the only other Mexican Jew that I knew of in Brisbane. We had some other friends in the community when I first migrated here in 1988, but they were Jewish people, but they were from Argentina. And yes, that husband of that couple, although she was they were very nice people. He was very ribald and earthy too, and kind of walk in looking at me, and I'd walk in because I was married with young children. You know, my kids were still very little when we arrived here, still babies. But his wife would just look at me indulgently and see me freak out because I was so square and prudish and shy. And so we're at one of their parties, and he pulls out this little sculpture of some, I don't know what it was, some indigenous art or something, and it was of this little man with a really huge schlong. And he goes, what do you think of this, Tanya? Puts it on the counter. And I shot a look to his wife, and she shot a look back to me, but she could see me like, and she was laughing. They were a very nice couple. They weren't being sleazy with me. They were just stirring me up a bit too, actually. And but the wife was like in on it, obviously, because she didn't get angry or annoyed with me for exciting the passions of all their men, which all I had to do was show up sometimes, completely oblivious to it most of the time, by the way. And so he puts this little sculpture thing, this little ornament, and I just went, wow, it's very well endowed, isn't it? He said, yes, it is a fertility symbol in some Papua New Guinea culture or whatever. And I went, oh, is it working for you? Because I always have a cheeky one-liner, you know, which is probably why they did it, to see what I come out with. And his wife, Penny, was just looking at me and laughing. She went, good question. And I was like, you know, I'm a respectable married woman with 2 babies, so you must behave yourselves now. And they said to me, you're so square, Tanya. And I went, yes, and I'll be square till the day I die. But unfortunately, I had to de-square myself in my 30s after that terrible, terrible divorce and all the strangulations. I had to start getting a little bit more ribald and earthy and revolutionary and anarchistic myself and conflagrate my sexuality. Honestly, they were fascinated, my former temple. I turned up wearing, one time, I went to shul wearing a very nice long-sleeved, you know, skivvy top because it was winter. Bright red, you know, bright red long skivvy up to the neck. Hardly a sexually stimulating outfit. It was just a long sleeve skivvy and a red corduroy dress, and I teamed it up with lovely, you know, red suede shoes. I thought I looked lovely. Well, I did look lovely. Why did they go wild? You'd think I'd walked in like Salome with the 7 veils or something. It was just odd how they used to react sometimes. Anyway, John's wife, Nona, turns to me and she says, red suits you, it's a fabulous colour on you. She said, you should wear it more often. I said, I do actually like to wear red. It's one of my favourite colours, actually, and it does suit me well. And I said, it always makes me feel vibrant and fully alive and fully innovated and activated and beautiful. It's a good colour for me. And she actually said to me at that point in time, she said, yes, she said, you look really lovely. And then she mentioned that she herself always wore earth. I think I've said this before in a video. I feel like I'm repeating stories. But anyway, she herself said that she only ever wore like nature colours and earth tones, which suited her well, you know. And she said, but I've got my eye on this red coat, and seeing you wearing all your red makes me think I should actually go and buy it, but it's not a colour I normally wear. And she had brown hair, very attractive woman. And so I had a good look at her. I said, I think red would suit you quite well, actually. I said, go and buy that coat. I want to see you wearing it. Next time I see you, I want to see you wearing that beautiful red coat. I said, you should buy something lovely. So anyway, she took my advice and she bought the coat, and she did indeed look lovely in it. So in my weird way, I was kind of an inspiration to some of the people in my congregation. Some of the time. Most of the time they couldn't quite work me out, but it is what it is. And she herself was an artist, so I thought it was actually strange that she needed the extra push to buy the red coat, because as an artist you should know about colour and colour palettes and what looks good on you. Like, this looks fucking awful, I look like a corpse. But anyway, it is what it is. Thus concludes today's readings of Even Date. I'm going to swing my opal because I feel, oh, the opal looks good against this because it's got the browns and the tones. But yes, I'm going to swing my opal and swing from my chandeliers and carry on with my day. And yeah, dream the psychedelic dream of my wonderful lover man manifesting in real world, in the eternal now, being a good man to me, and us building a wonderful life together, whoever that human might be. And I've got an appointment with a spirit. I think they've gone now. I think they gave up waiting. But you know, it's not cool to interrupt my videos and stir me up like that. Really not cool. So yes, I will keep my appointment with them. I promised that I would open up to them appropriately, and I will do that. I will honour my promise. You must always honour your commitments with the gods, with the spirits, and with other humans too. If you promise to have an appointment or a visitation with them, you should do it, because it's rude to just leave people hanging and not be authentic or genuine, and it's disrespectful, and it's rejecting, and it's unkind. So anyway, on that note, have a beautiful day, people of planet Earth and all other interdimensional entities, and shalom.